This, by the way, is considered contrapuntal. I should probably have written that up too. It's sort of like saying the opposite of homophonic. Contrapuntal means, and actually the exact definition of contrapuntal is known as the words note against note, meaning that each one of them goes at each other as if they were adversaries or something like that. So I'll put the word contrapuntal in there. Okay, just for a whole lot of fun, if you would like to on your own, try composing a counter melody to either the Bach or the Russian folk song. I would love to listen to it, play it in class, but it's not an assignment. It's only for those of you who just absolutely don't have a life and can spend time doing that.
This is my life.
This is your life. Okay, well, let's go to 39, page 39. Now, some of these exercises are similar to the ones that are going to be on the test on Thursday. Remember, I cannot possibly fool you on this test on Thursday because you have an exact copy of the test that you're going to take. So there's no way I can say study something and it turns out to be something that's not on the test because you know exactly what's on the test. All right, page 39. For each of the following sequences, determine the meter and the note value that represents the pulse. Then divide each example into measures by placing bar lines in the appropriate places. Remember to put double bar lines at the end. So Chris, and this is something we learned to do yesterday, mostly because this chapter is only dedicated to simple. We start the description of every one by saying the word simple and then saying either duple, triple, or quadruple by looking at the top number. Okay? So if you were to do that on number one, you would say what? This is, start with simple.
Okay, simple.
Simple.
Quadruple.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is simple quadruple. And my hand to God, I do not know why we need to know that. I have never addressed an orchestra or a jazz band or anybody and said, remember this is simple quadruple. But you may use it
I
sometime.
think there was something like this on the homework that we did. Probably similar.
And again, if you, and I know that you are considering taking the AP Music Theory test, most likely this will be a question on there.
Nice.
The only other question is, why do we need to know this?
So it might be the first and the last question I have on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that might. I'm glad I don't have to say why we have to know that because I really don't.
Huh.
But anyway, now if you would please tell me where the bar lines would be in that number one.
Everywhere.
All of us, or?
No, just you, sorry.
Well, after the first 4 quarter notes, after
Mhm.
the 2 half notes,
Mhm.
after the 3 quarter notes, and after
Mhm.
and then double bar. Yeah.
Double bar at the end, very good. All right, and Mr. St. Mond, could you do the same thing for number two, please?
That simple triple.
It is simple triple, very good. See, this is pretty easy, isn't it? Right?
After
You may have never heard those words before in your life, but you've just put the two of them together now.
after the first 2 notes,
Right?
after the next 3,
Right?
after the next 3 again, and the double bar after the last.
That's right. And Doc,
Simple duple.
simple duples is correct.
And then we've got 2 half notes and then a bar line.
Right?
2 quarter notes, then a half note, then a bar line.
Right?
And 4 quarter notes, then a bar line.
Right.
2 more half notes, and a double bar line.
Very good. And just in case there's anybody who was not clear on that cut time looking signature, remember that means that we cut 4/4 in half, which makes it 2/2. All right. The C by itself would have been 4/4, and the slash through it makes it 2, 2. Very good. All right,
So
and
it's a simple
Ryan?
duple?
What's that?
So it's simple duple?
It is simple duple, yes. Now, and we're gonna have to do all this again when we get to the chapter that is compound meters. We will have to say compound duple, compound triple, and compound quadruple. Okay, but, and I guess one of the easiest ways to describe what simple duple is 2 beats to the measure, and if you split them up, they're into 2s. All right? Which, by the way, is why when we are in simple duple meter and we want a triplet, we have to borrow it. You all knew this, right? When you write a triplet, you have to put a 3 there. Otherwise, they will be 1.5 beats instead of just 1 beat. All right? But we only have to do that when we're in simple meter, right? Because if we're in compound meter, we aren't borrowing a triplet from a compound meter. Compound meters are triplets. So we don't put that 3 there. We only put that 3 there if we're in simple meter. And what we're saying is we're really borrowing this from compound meter. And in compound meter, we can also borrow. If I just leave those like that, that's only going to be 2 out of the first 3 beats, which would be 2 out of the 3 for pulses. But if I want that to last the whole pulse, I can put a 2 there. And what we will do when we play that is we'll play each one of them a little bit longer than a normal 8th note so that they fill up the space of 3. And again, it's just say it says I'm borrowing this from duple meter. You all knew that, right? Of course you did. All right. We must have been to Ryan, have you done yours already?
No.
No, okay, so we're on number 4 then.
It's a simple quadruple. And
Yep.
There's a line after the first 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next 4,
1, 2, 3, 4, yep.
and then next 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes.
And then the next, and
Double boiling.
yeah.
2 quarters and a half are the last measure. Very good. All right, and Kyle, number 5, please.
Simple duple. And bar line after the first 8th note,
Mm-hmm.
the second quarter note, well, I guess first regular.
The first
note.
quarter note, okay.
First regular quarter note, the second 8th note after that,
Mhm.
and double bar line at the end.
Very good. Now, I will tell you that when you're taking this test, and you're flying and breezing through it, you should end up with a full measure each time. If you ever end up with only 3 beats out of 4, you've done something wrong. They don't try to fool you by doing anything weird like that. You will come, as I say, if you find your last measure doesn't have enough, or has too many beats in it, either one, you need to redo that again. Hi, Sam?
Hello. Sorry we're late.
That's okay. And let's see, I have your, yeah,
Yeah, that's
okay, thank you. Either today or tomorrow will be fine.
I mean, it's done, I can try to.
Okay. All right,
I wasn't here yesterday, but
whenever. I'm good, and I don't write in them or anything, I just look to see if they have it done. I'm just flying them. Matt and Sam, what we're doing, we're on page 39 now, and we are identifying the meter